Get up, I gotta get up, I gotta get up, yeah, I gotta get up, I gotta get up, I gotta get up, I gotta get up, yeah, I gotta I gotta get up, I gotta get up, I gotta get
Hey
up, I
everybody,
gotta get up,
it's Shawn.
yeah, I
We're gonna
gotta
hang
get
out
up,
for
I
a little
gotta get
while.
up,
I was
I gotta
thinking
get
that I
up, I
wanted to
gotta
do
get up,
a welcome
yeah, I gotta
video, some kind of an introduction to all of those on YouTube and Periscope. And then I realized I could include Facebook in that too. I mean, my background in streaming is on Facebook. I began my streaming and all of that here on Facebook. And here on Periscope and YouTube, I'm a new face. As far as live goes, on YouTube, my face is pretty new. I've been uploading my lives for a little while. Some of them might have gotten used to seeing me by now, but mostly on YouTube, I make videos, mini documentaries is mostly what my YouTube was. And now with Periscope, Periscope is completely new. Periscope is pretty new anyway, and I'm trying to build up an audience over there and on YouTube because Facebook is throttling me pretty heavy and suppressing everything that I do. You know, I thought I found a way around it by going from my personal timeline, and that worked for the first couple streams. But then they're throttling that too. So, pages versus timeline, I correct myself on that the other day. I was telling creators, don't use your page. It doesn't matter. They can throttle you wherever they want to. And this suppression, this corporate censorship is something that we all need to be up in arms about. Matter of fact, censorship in general is something we all need to be up in arms about. But what I wanted to do on this stream is, like I said, I wanted to make a welcome, some way to explain who I am, talk a little about myself and what I do and what I plan to do here in the future. And that way it gives you an idea of what this channel and what these shows are going to be about and helps you know whether or not you want to follow and support that moving forward. Because moving forward, this is going to be completely professional. These are going to be polished shows put out for you guys. I won't get on here and do things where I don't have an agenda and a plan to talk to you. I will always be prepared and, I will do the research needed for whatever we're talking about. And I want to cover anything that you want. I want to hear from you about things that you want covered, topics, etc., things that you'd like to see. There's shows that we have already. I'll briefly get into what those are just to give you an idea. We have the Daily Burn, that is every day at 9 a.m. What that is I talk about the political revolution and all of that for all of us that are fighting in that political revolution right now in this country. And um, motivational, it's pretty motivational. I try to pump you up and get us all, focused on winning this fight that we're in because we are in a fight, and it's just not a fight that looks like any fight you've ever been taught about because you've never been taught how to participate in democracy, so you don't even recognize it as a fight. So I do that show every day, Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m. All these times are going to be central times. And then we do Conspiracy Theories and Chill, which is the show that it all began with. Conspiracy Theories and Chill is the Wednesday night show at 9 p.m. And we talk about conspiracies. It's exactly what it sounds like. We hang out, talk about conspiracies, and I feed off the comments. So we tend to get into whatever you want. I'm pretty well versed in conspiracies, so we hang out for a while, usually about an hour every Wednesday night and talk conspiracies. And then Sundays, I have the Yankey show. And that is my variety talk show. It's like a podcast where we just hang out and talk. So those are the current shows that I have. I'm flirting with bringing back Yankee rants. I'm just trying to figure out what day and time and when it will happen. I'm going to bring it back. If Dot Connector's here, I'm going to check comments here in a second. But if Dot Connector's here, Yankee Rants is coming back. There's been popular demand for it, and I like doing it. I can get on here easy and be mad. I have a lot of anger issues, so I can easily do that. And, that's entertaining and it's fun and it's easy and it's good for me because it allows me to vent. So they're not hard to put together. I can definitely bring Yankee rants back. Another show that I used to do was a news show, Hindsight News. It was once a week, and I would look at all of last week's news. Get it? Hindsight News. Kind of like Last Week with John Oliver. And I had that show before Last Week with John Oliver. So, if anything, he stole it from me. But Hindsight News is a more clever title. Anyhow, but that's another show that we could bring back. That's something else that we could bring back into the fold. But if you're watching on Periscope, share it to Twitter. Share the link to Twitter. I am trying to. Oh, I can do it right there. Okay, so I shared it out to Twitter. And because I don't have anybody here on Periscope, and I really want to, give my attention to them right now because that's who I'm introducing myself to. Those of you on Facebook probably know me pretty well. But those are the shows, those are the ideas that I have right now. And if you like any of those, let me know. If you'd like to see the news come back, let me know. And we can get into that. Because, like I said, this is going to be professional from now on. This is what I want to do for my job moving forward. I want to make shows for you guys. So if you're digging that and you want to help with that, there are ways in the description to support me because I'm giving myself a year to make this my job. And, if I don't make it in a year, I'll give myself another year. I'm not going nowhere, but, I'm going to try really hard and push really hard to get my following up and build enough support in order to do this professionally for you guys moving forward. But what we're going to do today to get to know me is an Ask Me Anything segment. So we can talk about anything you guys want. I'm going to completely feed off the comments from this moment forward. So I'm going to bring up comments now and look at Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, see if anybody is here and anybody's got anything they want to ask or talk about. But ask me absolutely anything. So, looks like a few people are here on Facebook and YouTube. I've been rambling for a little while. I'm going to give you time to think of something you want to know, anything that you want to know, and we'll get into it. Harsh says he's waiting on the 70s porn to start. That music, the bumper music, I have to create my own music. And I make it on a music app, a music maker app. So that is why it sounds like 70s porn music. And I liked it. I thought it rocked. I thought it really jammed out. I mean, but I'm limited. And there's only so many free music software programs out there. And then when you get one, you only get so many themes to download for free. So I'm thinking about paying for some better like rock and stuff like that, hard rock and different. They have all these pre-recorded things and you can use it for anything. So it's really good for show bumper music, but that's where the bumper music comes from. Lori says, I'm following your live streams, but I only get notifications from YouTube. Yeah, Facebook's throttling me pretty hard right now, Lori. It's breaking my spirit, really. It's really breaking my heart. This corporate censorship that we're allowing in this country, um, it's ridiculous, and we really need to put a stop to it and take a stand against it because it's just going to get outrageously out of control if we don't. Herbert says this one was on Debbie Does Dallas 3. It might have been. It might have been. I've been told, Steve said once that it sounded like porn music. Lori says, hey, Ginger. Hi, Ginger. Looks like a few people are here on Facebook. Let me get down and I'm going through your comments to see if we get to where you start asking questions. Herbert says they're throttling everyone right now. It speaks of this in the video I shared to you. I'm sorry. I have a lot of videos I need to watch. I'm way behind on research because I'm doing an MK Ultra video for Wednesday night and I am way past behind on my deadline. I should be done by now. I should at least be done writing it by now, but I'm not done writing it. Lori says they throttle on YouTube too sometimes. I think I am being throttled on YouTube. Part of the experiment with tonight's feed was not to do any kind of a title, just to go live with no title, no agenda. So I didn't want to do no title, so I did an Ask Me Anything. We can just talk about anything you guys want, and we can get into anything. But this was mostly a get to know me for Periscope and YouTube and just to know what the things are about and so the people will subscribe and draw interest into the channel and the platforms because it's new. The streaming from multiple sites is new. So And I'm really disappointed with Facebook. I'm really disappointed with Facebook right now. So Herbert says conspiracy theories and chill is his favorite. It's my personal favorite too, but I'll tell you the Daily Burn has gotten to be my favorite. And I know a lot of people don't like that one, but it makes me a better person. I do a lot of personal growing from that show because I have to build myself up every day before I do it. I don't get on here when I'm feeling down and talk to you guys when I'm down. I have to build myself up and get ready to do that stuff. Lori says censorship. Wants to talk about censorship. Herbert says if you let the censorship get to you, the terrorists win. He's not wrong. He's joking, but he's not wrong. They are terrorists. We're misled about what that term even means. It's just they just do their war against the truth, and they do their war underground, and they're subversive. But we're in a war. We're in a fight. We're in a fight against the death of the truth. And it's happening through censorship that's mostly been corporatized, so everyone's looking the other way. You can't do that. The noose is tightening. The noose is. I've done probably 4 or 5 rants about censorship recently, and I'm starting to feel like I'm beating a dead horse. But I've heard Bernie say before that, people tell him he's being repetitive. Well, when we start taking care of some of this stuff, then I can start talking about other stuff. When we start doing something about this modern day book burning that's going on by throttling content on social media sharing sites. For somebody like me that wants to make a living doing this, there aren't any more options. I can stream to 5 different social platforms with the streaming software that I'm paying for. I can only think of 3 places to stream to. And I had never heard of Periscope. I'm ashamed to say I didn't know about Periscope. And I'm going to tweet this out again because I still got nobody here. I don't have very many followers on Twitter. I only have 170 followers on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter very long. That's why I put my Twitter handle up on the feed because I'm trying to get my followers built up on Twitter and now YouTube because I can't depend on Facebook. I can't depend on just one site. And if anybody knows, if any content creators watch this tonight and you know other sites that are good, let me know because and preferably free. There are paid streaming sites where you can pay to stream, like Ustream and Vimeo, and there's a few. But I'd rather not do that at this stage in the game. Once I get some more supporters and we get some supporters on Patreon, by the way, wink, wink, support me on Patreon. If you want to see more of these shows and you want to help us grow moving forward, support us on Patreon or just share the link. Share it out, get it out, help get the shows out. That all helps me too. But help, if you want to see us grow, you're going to have to help in some way, like sharing, commenting, all of that. And everybody that's here right now is champions at that. So I know you know what I'm talking about, but content creators are being stifled. I'm being throttled so hard. My Daily Burn show used to get 300, 400 views a day easy. Now it got 60 views today, and that was after I did a watch party for it. It only had 30 views after being up for 8 hours. 20 something shares. Like, how's that possible? I didn't share it at all. So I can't. If I share, they lock me up. I can share to my timeline and my own personal pages, and that's it. But Lori said, police of the world, self-appointed. Yep. And Lori says the terrorists have always been the good old USA. We're the bad guys. We are the bad guys. We're bombing 8 different countries right now. Herbert says, I've seen an article where Zuckerberg said he would allow politicians running for office to post anything, even if not true, yet censor the citizens. Yeah, they came out recently and talked about how they are a publisher. They can allow and reject anything that they choose on their platform as such. That they don't have to allow free speech and they don't have to allow a free forum. They can And they have cracked down a lot harder since announcing that. I let it roll off my back at first. I'm as guilty of it as anybody else, but they're not kidding. They're very serious. And they've come after me real hard since announcing that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm really small. I'm just building my name. I was just getting it out there and just getting a following. And then this throttling happened. So it's okay. It's the way the world is. It's not okay. It's far from okay. It really is very far from okay, but it's the way the world is, and we have to play in their rigged system. I want to do this. I want to do this, and I want to do this for you guys, and I feel like there's enough interest to support and sustain it, and we're going to find that out. But I'm going to keep doing it. Just because Facebook's telling me no, because what's funny is they'll tell me I can't share the post, you know, and then they'll ask me if I want to boost it for $10. Now, if you don't know what that is, you can boost things on Facebook by paying money, and then it'll get out to more people. They'll push it up higher in the algorithm and put it in front of more faces. But it costs money, and they'll lock me up immediately, make me set a new password and re-verify all my posts, content strike everything from the whole day, just because I try to start a watch party in a group or share to a group. But 5 times in the last week. But they'll let me boost it for $10. We'll get it out to 1,200 more people for just $10. It's disgusting. It makes me sick, and it makes me want to deactivate my account. I'm going to be real honest with you. I am so mad. I'm furious with Facebook. And it's tough for me as a performer and as a content creator to see everything just dying off as it was growing, as it was building up. It was taking off, and then to watch it get cut off at the knees. But like I said, persistence is how you win. I preach that every morning on the Daily Burn, that you keep pushing forward, even when it's hard, even when you don't want to. So even though it's hard right now, and even though it's breaking my heart that they're cutting my views and keeping me from getting out to you guys, I'm going to keep going. But this is supposed to be an introduction for the people on YouTube and Periscope and all of that. So let me see if anyone has asked any questions yet. Anything you want to ask at all, go ahead and ask it. I don't have anybody here on YouTube, really? Not anybody? That's weird. Usually the YouTube feed does decent, has a few people there. But is that? No, can't be. But if you're here on Periscope, if you're here on YouTube and you want to ask anything at all, if you'd like to get to know me, maybe you want to know, hey, why should I follow you? Why should I subscribe to your channel? Go ahead and ask. Ask anything you want to know. And any of the people on Facebook that can think of something that people might want to know. Jeff says, what about Roku streaming? Is that any good? I could look into Roku. I don't know if it costs money to stream to Roku. There are certain things you can only do from the more expensive paid streaming sites too. I use Caster, and it's the cheapest one, but it's also the most user friendly and most content creator friendly. But it has limits. It has limitations. And one of the limitations is there's certain platforms that you can't stream to from it. I don't know if Roku is one of them. I have to look into it. But the ones that I could, I've exhausted the list almost. Some of them I'd never heard of. So I was hoping maybe some people might tell me some better ones. Because you can also put in some random ones and I can just see if they work. You know, different sites. But I'll look at Roku, Jeff. That's a good question. Because Tim Black streams on Roku. I've noticed that by watching his feeds. Lori says, oh, she speaks anti-war. Hold on. Patricia Negron streams from there because she is Facebook banned for 90 days every time she does a stream on Facebook till she comes back speaking truth. VK.com. Okay, VK.com. I will check that out after this stream because, like I said, I got 2 more places I can go to and I want to get it out to as many as possible. Lori says share to some groups. Thank you, Lori. Lori says anyone wanting to spread truth is buried, and that's sadly very true. VK.com. I will check that out. Why has that got question marks next to it? Is autocorrect messing you up, or is that the right address, Lori? Or were you just wondering if I hadn't seen it? But yeah, check it out on there. But if you're on Periscope, ask me anything. Ask me anything you want to know, and because I'd like for you guys to get to know me, and this would be a good chance. So, and then if you're on YouTube, go ahead. Any questions you want, anything you want to know, ask. Ask about content. Ask about what we cover. This is a great time to talk during this live stream with the subscribers. So Jeff says the Convo Couch streams on Roku too. I'll look into Roku. That's interesting. I mean, that would be something to look at. But let me get back in here on Periscope. Real quick, for a minute, I'll just talk about what got me into doing this. So I am a stand-up comic. That's what my background is. That's where I first became into entertainment was stand-up comedy. I've been doing stand-up comedy for, man, I was about 23 when I first got on stage. So 20 years. I've never really made it out of the local level. Like feature level, if you know anything about it, feature level, pretty much local guy, touring tri-state area, whenever I can get a gig. And it's always been a side hustle. I have a regular job like any of you. The comedy's just my dream. And then about 3 years ago, I started doing live streams. I did a live stream, and a friend of mine, Sergeant J, saw it and got a hold of me and was all like, "You need to do this." So I started doing it more and more and more. Hi, Helen. I started doing it more and more often and really got into doing it and started up making shows and started a YouTube channel, and it all kind of snowballed. And now I fell in love with it. So it's something that I'm going to continue to do moving forward, and something that um, I hope that will grow and people will be into and follow and want to be a part of and want to support. So that's what we're going to do moving forward. And my heroes in comedy were Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks was a huge influence on me and still is a huge influence on me. Bill Hicks was a comic genius and a legend before his time. It's sad that we lost him when we did. That was a huge loss to society. I would love to see what Bill would be saying today. Some people think, and this is crazy, this is something from conspiracy theories and chill, but they think that Bill is still alive. Bill died at 36 or 37, I think, of pancreatic cancer. And a lot of people think he faked his death and became Alex Jones, of all people. But like I said, that's a conspiracy about Bill. But I love Bill Hicks and George Carlin. Carlin was a very huge influence. Sam Kinison. And these guys, what they all share in common is they were all truth comics. You know, Spreading truth through comedy is a really good way to do it because people have their defenses down when they're laughing. If they're having a good time, their defenses are down and they don't have their guard up, and it's much easier to, get them to receive information or new ideas because they're not challenging it. But what got me into conspiracies really hard, because the baby show, like I told you, my personal baby is, yeah, Sergeant J. Get Sergeant J in here. Let's burn one. Come on. That's who got me into live streaming was Sergeant J. I used to watch Jay's streams all the time, and it would inspire me, and I'd be like, I want to do that. And then when I did one, I just did a live stream, and I was friends with Jay on Facebook. All of a sudden, I get a phone call, and Jay's like, "You got to do this. You just need to talk. People need to hear from you." And he hooked me up with a page, and I started streaming from that page. And next thing I know, it making shows and falling in love with it. But now we're going to do it professionally moving forward. So hopefully, you guys will support us. And like I said, that has many different forms. Support us by sharing, support us by spreading the word, telling your friends if you dig the shows, the regular ones that have regular times. And if you would like to see other things or would like to see certain things covered, like a friend on Facebook that comes to a lot of the streams. She wants me to do Bigfoot. I'm doing Bigfoot for Nissa coming up soon. We're gonna do a Bigfoot on conspiracy theories and chill. I'm not. I'm not personally into Bigfoot. I find it fascinating. I find all conspiracies fascinating, but I'm gonna dig in it really deep. Like that's what I'll do. Any subject you guys want to see covered. For instance, I was at a live stream of another friend of mine, Harsh Met, and he was covering Lucius Trust. Now I love conspiracies, but I had never heard of Lucius Trust. Next thing I know, I'm going down a rabbit hole about Lucius Trust, and you would be amazed what is down that rabbit hole. I'm going to tell you just a little bit for just a second, because now what I'm going to do is just kind of show you a medley of what we do. So this is conspiracy theories and chill, but this is true. This is not a conspiracy, it's true. You can Google it and look it up. Lucius Trust, Lucis Trust, is a real organization that runs out of the United Nations, and they are openly Luciferian. Jeff says UFOs. We can talk about UFOs for sure. For sure. We'll get to that in a second. The government is getting close to admitting to UFOs. Matter of fact, the Department of Defense just came out and admitted that they often deal with UFOs. And we'll get back to that in just a second. But, damn it, Jeff. Now I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, the Department of Defense, I hate that I forgot, is doing they're announcing that they deal with UFOs all the time. They chase UFOs all the time. What was I talking about? Somebody tell me. I'm going to do this. This is bad. This is the stupidest thing that you're allowed to do, kids. Don't do this. This is addictive. This is more addictive than heroin, and you look really sloppy when you do it. You look ridiculous. You don't look cool. Only some people have been able to make smoking cool. Like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. He was cool. But maybe, I don't think that has much to do with the cigarette. He's probably cool with or without it. James Dean, he was cool. He could smoke really cool. Who else? Michael Madsen, he looks cool with a cigarette. But most people don't. Most people look like this. It just looks bad. Oh man. I didn't have much luck with last night's stream either on Lucius Trust. Lucius Trust. You Luciferian organization running out of the UN. Thank you for pointing me back in the right direction. Lucius Trust is a Luciferian organization that runs out of the United Nations. For real. Their address, it said, in my research, it said formally. I don't know what their current address is, but it used to be 666 United Nations Plaza. Literally. Really was. And their former name was Lucifer's Trust. And they changed it to Lucius Trust in, I think, like the 70s. But they were based on occult beliefs and Luciferian beliefs and the philosophies of Alice A. Bailey, which was their founder. And they have these 10 tenets for taking over the world. Lori says Steve McQueen then died of lung cancer. Lori's a nurse. Lori, send me, how do you quit? The longest I've ever made it is 6 months. How do you quit smoking? What's the best way? But Lucius Trust, I just covered on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Look up that video on Lucius Trust. Because when I was live streaming that one on Facebook, I got kicked inside of 12 minutes. And Herbert said Shawn Yankey was cool. It was nice knowing me, guys, because I'm going to get banned too. You know, the stuff that happens to Patricia is going to happen to me as well. Because like my wife says, my wife's like, follow the rules. If you followed the rules, then you wouldn't get banned and you wouldn't get throttled. Well, I'm not going to follow the rules, and I'm not even going to learn the rules. I don't want to know the rules. The rules are set up in a way where they can suppress anybody they want for any reason they want. It's not going to do me any good to follow their rules. I don't think. Am I wrong? If I just sat here and pet a puppy and talked about my day and what I had, and what I had for lunch, would they throttle me? Or is it because I'm talking about things like Lucius Trust? Or Jeff wanted to talk about UFOs. UFOs. They're even coming out and starting to talk about that. So they wouldn't mind if I talked about UFOs. We can probably do a whole hour on UFOs. The Department of Defense has come out. I'm telling you, you can look this up on CNN and Fox. I'm not making it up. It's on their pages right now. The Department of Defense has announced that they deal with UFOs all the time. There's video right now on CNN and Fox of them trailing a fleet of UFOs. They say that there's like 50 of them, and that this happens all the time. Now, I don't believe UFOs are from outer space, but if there's interest in that, we can get into that. But I believe what these UFOs they're dealing with are technology that to us would look like literal magic, that would look like something that we would not even begin to understand or be able to comprehend. I think that's what we're looking at when this stuff happens. But this stuff is real. These things that I'm talking about, Lucius Trust is a real thing. You can Google it. I encourage you to Google everything that I tell you about. But these things, like Lucius Trust, are things that they don't want exposed. Meanwhile, it's running out of the UN. They have a mural in the Security Council room of the UN, a huge mural, a huge Luciferian mural hangs over the UN Security Council room where they decide the fate of the world, where wars are discussed, where world conflicts are discussed, where world leaders meet and gather underneath this huge mural to Lucifer. Right there in the UN, headquartered right inside the United Nations. At what point do we wake up? At what point is it enough? At what point do we start even becoming concerned with all of this? Jeff says rules are for fools. You're damn right. Plus, how boring would I be if I followed the rules? No one would want to watch me. No one wants to watch some nerd that follows the rules. You know, does Mark Zuckerberg have a popular stream on Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard person. Lizard people are real, and Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard person. He is. I'm banned from Facebook for 90 days, y'all. And I don't even really care. Check me out on YouTube, me on things and stuff. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hey, Cindy, good to see you if you're still here. I hope you're still here. Herbert says the Navy announced the videos are real and they don't know what they are. Yeah, they're real. The videos are real and verified by the Navy. So, and they're up on CNN right now. You can check them out. Lori says, celebrate each cigarette you do not smoke by timing yourself. Don't feel you failed when you have another. Just keep patting yourself on the back each time. One idea. Good idea. Herbert says Jesse Ventura announced he may be running as an independent. If Bernie is screwed again, does Jesse get your vote? In 2016, when they screwed Bernie Sanders over, I voted for Jill Stein. I don't regret doing that. I would do it again. And I won't vote for the establishment shill candidate if they do screw Bernie over again. That's for sure. I'm not blue no matter who, and I don't understand that logic anyway. Would I vote for Jesse Ventura? If they screw Bernie over, it will be because we allowed them to screw Bernie over. So at that point, my faith in us doing anything along the route of politics will probably die completely. And I don't see myself getting in a fight trying to support Jesse Ventura like I did Jill Stein in 2016 because my faith in politics will be shattered completely. Just as an option for us to move forward, as a way for us to fix this. If we fail this golden opportunity that is being handed to us on a silver platter, if we drop this and fumble this and mess this up, then we can't do it politically. So, no, I doubt I would throw my support behind Ventura, and I like Ventura a lot. Lori says conscious vote. I don't know 100% what that means, but conscience vote. Yeah. But Cindy says Lori invited me to the streams. Thanks, Lori. Yeah, thank you, Lori. Thanks for inviting Cindy. I'm glad to see Cindy here. But 9/11 was really the big one. The big one that got me into conspiracies was 9/11. That got me to really look behind the curtain. And a lot of times I feel like that was what it was supposed to do, was supposed to shake us, at least shake us to our core, if not get us to look at behind the curtain. They want you to know. Part of their tenets, part of what they believe in is they have to tell you. You know, the Illuminati, the New World Order, whatever you want to call them, they are a real thing. They exist. And they lord over our lives. They own everything. They control us all. And they're Luciferian. They're demon worshippers. They worship demons. They're into the occult. That all is real. They put it in movies, they put it in entertainment, they put it in songs, they put it in music, they put it in books, they put it in literature, they put it in front of you all the time. And when we don't do anything about it, we are consenting to it. That is the way that they see it. That's the way it is. And that's how we found ourselves in this situation. Herbert says, if and when Bernie is screwed again, is anyone here taking necessary precautions to go to the DNC convention and or to protest the establishment? Once I see that being telegraphed, my focus will immediately shift in that direction. I already have it planned, but my revolution is much bigger than Bernie. Our revolution is much bigger than Bernie. Bernie's our candidate though, so absolutely. If we don't organize like that, then we have no chance. Jennifer said, I'd support Jesse if Bernie gets plowed down by the Dems again. And I get that. And I would probably support Jesse too. I guess that her, I'd support him. I'd even vote for him. But would I have faith in political movements in this country for a while? I don't think so. Because this is a golden opportunity. We really couldn't, it couldn't be laid out any better for us. You know, it only takes 3% of a population to overthrow their government and to have a successful revolution. 3%. That's only about 11 million people. You know, someone did the math on a previous feed and told me how many people that would take, and it's not that many. It really isn't. But I'm going to pull up Facebook on the phone and YouTube on the computer so I can see them both at the same time. Because we're starting to get some viewers in on YouTube. We had a slow start on YouTube, but people are starting to come in. And let me bring up the feed on my phone so I can see your comments. But come on in. This is just a variety live stream. We've done a little bit of everything. I've ranted. We've talked about conspiracies. We can talk about anything you want. But it says it's unable to connect to the chat. Why is that? Let me try reloading YouTube. Hopefully this doesn't crash YouTube. The new computer is being delayed by Facebook. The money hasn't been transferred yet. So that's scaring me. It's been like 5 days since I transferred that money to the guy that's building the computer, and he still hasn't received it. It said it could take up to 7 business days, but I never expected it to really take up to 7 business days. So I'm worried. I'm a worrier. I'm a professional worrier. So that's going to be on my mind until that money is in his hand, because I directly transferred it to him, you know, and he hasn't received it yet, and it's bugging the shit out of me because I'm like, oh my God, that was a week ago. But I forget that it's only 5 business days. Okay, it looked like YouTube successfully reloaded. Hopefully that didn't cause any buffering or anything for you guys. And it looks like there's some viewers there. So ask me anything. I wasn't able to see your comments if you were here earlier. I didn't realize that the comment had failed. And it looks like it's back up now. So I should be able to see your comments from this point on. So if you're on YouTube, ask me anything you want to know. Periscope, same thing. Ask me anything you want to know about me. This is a get to know me stream. We're just talking about a little bit of everything. I'm going off the comments. We've talked about everything, anything and everything. A friend of mine who shares my shows was like, you need to stay more focused so that I can share your stuff out because you're too all over the place. You know, you'll be talking about Lucius Trust and then you'll talk about Bernie Sanders. Well, conspiracy people don't want to hear about Bernie Sanders. That's why I call my shows me on things and stuff. That's why I call my YouTube channel me on things and stuff, because it's me, get it, me on things and stuff. A little bit of everything. I'm all over the place. You either like me or you don't. You can never ask me to focus. I have ADD, you know. And ADD is a superpower. It's not a weakness, it's a superpower. But I'm all over the place. Hold on, let me catch up in the comments here. I'm back on Facebook looking at what you guys are saying. Oh, hold on. Yellow vests are trying. She says 8 up to 7. Hold on, something. Herbert says Yang will not get my vote. Tulsi, yes. I would vote for Tulsi. Definitely. I would vote for Tulsi. Yang, I wouldn't vote for. I think Yang is an establishment plant. I think Yang is in there by the corporate elite to sell people on UBI. I think Yang is a total and complete fraud. That is my opinion on Andrew Yang that I have developed up until this point, and that is just based on everything that he's shown me. It's not based on anything else. So, share this out to the Yang gang. Let them know that their Messiah is just a salesman for universal basic income, which is going to be a nightmare for our country. It is not something you want. Andrew Yang is just selling UBI. He's not even really running for president. He has no intention to win, and he's taking your money. You want to talk about somebody messing people over? It's Andrew Yang. You know who else is out talking about UBI? Mark Zuckerberg. It's one of Mark Zuckerberg's biggest projects because the elite want to put us on an allowance and they want to take things like your Social Security and they want to take benefits away from you. We're going to end up in a dystopian future if we don't do something to stop the direction of things. See, that's what we do around here. There's moments of brilliance. Sometimes we rant, we talk about different things. I, it all depends on the comment section. If the comment section is golden, the show is always great. But if no one's talking, then I stay focused and we stay on task. It's so for Clinton, I don't know how to stay focused for you, buddy, because the comments always take me off in 60 directions. And that's the fun of a live stream. Lori says, and you do focus sometimes, like with like you will on Wednesday's MK Ultra show. Yeah, the conspiracy theories and chill shows, those are more focused. They have a set subject that we stick to, and that more of a format. This what this is right here was a get to know me. We didn't get a turnout on Periscope at all. I was hoping for a turnout on Periscope, because that's where I was really focusing this one. I almost did it only to Periscope. But I was like, no, everybody could get an opportunity to ask me a question. Anything you want to know about me and moving forward, I'm asking you to support me. The least I can do is answer questions that you guys want to know. So I figured this would be a good way to meet subscribers and give people reasons why they should subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the feed on Periscope and follow it for the shows that we got coming up moving forward. Lori says yes and has cute emojis and let us reply to each other easily. Hold on, wait a minute. What's she talking about? Facebook is the one everyone is on. Yeah. Cute little emojis, all the stuff that boosts your serotonin levels. I was just on my friend Robert's show, Right to Reason. He has a podcast called Right to Reason, and he did an episode about is social media bad. It's up on my Facebook page, and check it out. I was on a panel, and I got a few words in. We were on a big panel, but I got a few words in, and I managed to get across how social media is there to manipulate us. It is a tool to manipulate us. It's scientifically designed to manipulate your serotonin levels and your reward centers in your brain and your addiction level, your addiction centers and all of that. It's designed as a slavery tool and a control tool. That's what it's for. But Monty says they don't throttle Nazis so much. Man, the Q pages are big. The Q page, there's a Q page that has like 75,000 followers, and their videos get enormous views. Because I study live streamers, all kinds. And if somebody's doing well, I look at them at least once. And a lot of these people, it's crazy. Like, I think about what I do, and for the most part, it's pretty tame. I don't even cuss very much. But they cuss like a storm. And it's just, I don't know. I don't understand it. You're right. And it's weird. But then they'll go to throttling them. It's hard to get a grip on. They pick and choose what they want to silence and what they want to rise up. Right now, they're selling Trump based totally on fear of white supremacists and Nazis. So I think that's what they're doing. So they're suppressing people like me who aren't selling fear porn and pushing the fear porn. You see what I'm saying? Lori says, and Shawn goes deep with research. I try to. I try to make really good videos, and we've gotten a lot better at it. I've really started to like making mini documentaries, about 20, 30-minute documentaries. And I've really started to like it. I'm starting to get a lot better at editing and sound editing and stuff like that. So things are getting a lot more polished. And when we get the new computer, we'll have better backgrounds. I'm going to back the camera out. I'm going to get better lighting. There's a lot of ideas coming forward. So things are going to start looking cooler. I want to start looking more like a Tim Black, where it would look more like a set, like a news show, and have different backgrounds and different sets for the different shows. I think that would be cool. And that's all going to be possible when we get the new computer. So there's going to be cool stuff moving forward. So subscribe, support the shows, and follow and stay up on it all. Herbert says Q is real. Lori says Q is not a real thing. It is hope tank smoke and mirrors. So Lori gets to be the winner if me agreeing with you is a prize. I think Q is misdirection, misinformation campaign. It is real though, so you're both right. Actually, you both win. It's a draw. It is real. It's very real. I think it is a CIA misinformation campaign, but it's real. They are putting out information that is a little bit prophetic, and does get things right from time to time, and is a little on the nose sometimes. And Trump is feeding into it and pushing it. Now, that could just be his con man nature coming up, his entertainer nature coming out, playing up to the crowd. But he points to the Q signs, he plays up to it. It's definitely real. And the support behind it, whether you believe in Q or not, or you believe it's a real movement, or you believe it's really happening, even, a lot of people do. So thousands of people do. Probably, the burner movement is pretty big, but the Q movement's pretty big too. I wouldn't say it's on par, but they're big. They're a lot bigger than you'd think. There's a lot of them. And I found by talking to people that it's one of those that's kind of like flat earth sometimes. Sometimes people are ashamed to tell you they believe in Q. So more people believe in Q than even tell you. You know, it's very real. Jeff says go with a green screen background. That's what we're going to do. I could do it right now. The only reason why I don't is because my computer could never handle that and run a stream at the same time. My current computer is not strong enough, doesn't have enough processing power. It can barely handle running OBS in its simplest form with the settings all the way down and all of that. And OBS is the software that I use. So when we get the new computer, I'll have more processing power and I'll be able to run the slick backgrounds and all that. It will look a lot better. And like I said, I'm going to replace the camera so that it's more of me. I've been told I look like I'm sitting on the toilet. Who has a curtain behind their toilet? But, I'm fancy. I'm fancy like that. I got one of them $5 million gold plated toilets we talked about on the Yankee show on Sunday. But Monty says, just like Al Qaeda has been a few times. Hold on. Smoke and mirrors. Oh, Al Qaeda's smoke and mirrors. So is ISIS. ISIS was created by the CIA. A lot of those beheading videos were fake propaganda. They proved that. It got buried, but they proved it. It was admitted to on mainstream media sites. That's legal too. Obama made it legal to propagandize the American people. I think my dog is scratching at the door. But this was Monty says believing in reality is losing its popularity. What can we do about that but learn and discuss? Yeah, it's funny how reality is becoming less and less mainstream. You're being made to feel ashamed if you look at the world the way it really is, if you realize what's going on and see behind the curtain. You're made to feel ashamed for that. You're a conspiracy theorist. And Herbert says, at least take your hat off while you're on the toilet. I've been told this is a turban. When I wear it backwards, people think it's a turban. But I don't wear it forwards because it casts a shadow over my face. And I'll take my hat off for a minute because I've also been told that I'm bald. And I'm not bald. I have a little bit of hair. See, I'm going bald. I will be bald. But when it comes to that, I will Bruce Willis that stuff. You see what I'm saying? I will Bruce Willis it off. But the purpose of this was to get to know me and, a way to boost subscribers on YouTube and Periscope. So hopefully some people learn some new stuff about what we do here and tune into the shows. The Daily Burn is every day at 9 a.m. Central. Conspiracy Theories and Chill is every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central. And Yankey Show is every Sunday at noon Central. So tune into the shows. Let me know about any shows you would like to see moving forward or any things that you would like to see us cover. Because I want to do things that you want to see because I want to make shows you want to watch. Monty says you can get YouTube on Roku, so you're already on it. Oh, yeah. Well, theoretically, Roku can be free to broadcast, but there's a device to buy to receive. Lori says don't listen to that stuff about looking like I'm sitting on a toilet. I like the hat look too. The hat is my thing. I'm thinking the t-shirt and the hat is going to be my look. Because I was thinking when I got the cooler backgrounds, I'd start wearing suits, and suit jackets and stuff like Tim Black does and look more professional. But I'm like, I like the t-shirt and hat look. It's kind of my look. So I think I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with the t-shirt and hat look, and that'll be my style. But I am going to get some different hats. I want to mix it up a little. I think it's the tan hat every time is a little too much. Lori says cutting off air and circulation if you wear them 18 hours a day. I don't. I don't. I have to wear a hat at work. I work in restaurants. I have to wear a hat there. But I only wear the hat when I stream because I don't like the way that looks on the camera. It is self-conscious. But I have come to like the look. It looks better. I like it. It's my little look. So I think I'm going to stick with it moving forward. But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. This was just a hangout and a ask me anything type of thing to boost subscribers and to let you know who I am and what I plan on doing. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I'll see you guys next time we do something, which will be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for the Yankee Show. I mean, Daily Burn, not the Yankee Show. I get confused. There's so much going on. But I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for that. Thanks for hanging out with me.